Green light. I'm on air. Let me go post this link on our website. Our website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and it is currently filled with all kinds of music that you should want to learn how to play. And if you are watching the replay of this video, which is unlikely, but if you were, you could use Jolly Roger Ukulele to take your ukulele playing to the next level, whatever level you're at. And up to almost 300 songs now, I think, on the site. And most of them are pretty good. A couple of them are stupid. Today we have a couple of good tunes. I got a new arpeggio done, and that's not where I'm meaning to go. I'm checking the link to make sure it's working properly. It goes to Nya and Parting Glass. Yep. So today we're going to be playing. Last week we had played Parting Glass, and the conversation turned into a crazy time. So we're going to look at it again today, and then Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. I updated ukulele for A minor and E minor for baritone, and did some new information on there. So those of you guys that are logging in, if you're on baritone, well, you want to replace your baritone sheet music with the current version, and then you'll also want to download both of the arpeggios so that we can all be working from the same stuff today. The arpeggio, it's A minor for ukulele and E minor for baritone. A minor, E minor. And then it's also Parting Glass baritone needs to be re-downloaded because I found way too many, way too many typos. I can live with one or two, but after you get to about 3 or 4, then you're like, Gary, what were you drunk when you posted this? So, and the problem with me is that I'm never drunk, and so if it looks like something I've done makes me look drunk, then that's super sad. So, all right, so those are the 3 pieces of paper you're going to want to download. And 2 of them are baritone, so we'll just download everything into baritone, and then I will go fix that. Cloud, download, 3 items, okay. Blink, blink, and it should tell me, oh gosh, are you sure you want to cover up Parting Glass? And it's not. No, I just downloaded it. What the heck? All right, not supposed to do that. All right, let me go see what I actually downloaded. You guys are getting settled in, getting tuned up, getting ready to play, getting your sheet music in front of you, and I'm going to go into the storage, baritone. Why did it let me download Parting Glass? That's so weird. Let's see, where's the ukulele one? Here's that. This needs to be moved over to, we'll cut it here, and we'll paste it here. Paste. Alright. And then we go back to baritone and find out why it let me download that. That seems fishy. Parting Glass, Parting Glass. Now I'll have 2 of them in here. LMNOP. Parting Glass. Yes, I have 2 of them. In baritone. Oh, that's not right. Let's get rid of that one. Cut that one. Storage, download, ukulele. Do I have it in here? PQRS, right? LMNOPQRS. P Parting Glass. It's already there. All right, fine. All right, so grab the A minor arpeggio first. Let's do that one first, guys. And baritone players, you're going to look with me at that piece of paper, and then we'll play it, and then we'll play it baritone style after that. And then ukulele players, you are. We have too much music. There's no question that it's. I'm gonna have to buy an iPad just to scroll through our stupid list. Jeez Louise. All right, here we go. Arpeggiator, A minor, jumping Flea. Let's talk. Who's all here today, by the way? Let me go pull up the chat. Oh my gosh, everybody's here. Sandy in from northern Michigan. Sound is good. Carol's in from western Colorado. Vic is in from Eugene. Cloudy and chilly up there. Sherry has made it in all week. Sherry, see, that's the thing. You shouldn't have to have surgery in order to spend the week with us. Glad you're here again. Barbara is in. Good afternoon, Barbara. Pauline is in from Northern California. Glinda, good to see you, in from Colorado. Cindy's in from Colorado. Amy's in from Colorado. Diane's in from Colorado. I'm in for the duration. Nice. Evelyn's in from Ecuador. More ukulele. Rita's in from Michigan. Linda, sounds good. Just got my cast off, but not allowed to strum yet. But I can pick. There we go, guys. I'm telling you all the time. We're going to learn lots of different ways to do the same thing. We're going to do all these different methods. And if Linda only knew how to strum, she'd still be sitting there listening. But because she knows how to pluck, she's making music again. There we go. And living color, the reason why we teach every possible way to play ukulele. I'm a genius. I don't know if you know that or not. Jack and Barbara are in from Illinois. Good to have you. Terry's in from across the street. He's going to come over and punch me in the face here in a minute. Jacqueline is here. Ronnie, aloha, sunny and breezy at 60 degrees in New Mexico. Finally starting to warm up down there. Annie is in locally. Dennis in from Toronto. Linda's in from Maui. Aloha, my baritone. And she's ready to play baritone. Very exciting. Nancy's here. Has perfect weather in Florida. She was rubbing it in her in the earlier class. Marianne is in from Michigan. 69 degrees at my house. 69. That's pretty good, right? Christine is in from Bozeman, Montana. Linda in from Vancouver. And Patricia, she's a local here in Denver. Kay is in northern Colorado. And Linda, I'm here back from Vegas. Good to be home. Vegas is one of those places where your first few hours is like, this is the greatest place ever. And then by the time you leave, you're like, I'm really glad to be going home. It just wears you out. And Elizabeth has been running late all day today. I don't know what her deal is. Let's talk. All right. In the arpeggios, the last one, as you'll recall, hurt your thumb. This one's not going to hurt your thumb. This one's going to hurt your head. And so let's talk about it. Some of you, hopefully early on, whoever was your first ukulele teacher, they're like, hey, here's a cool thing. And when you strum this, with not pushing anything down, we call that a C6. But sometimes we call it an A minor 7th. And you're like, well, how can the same thing have two different names? And then they say whatever they say. And then you come and you meet Gary, and Gary's like, well, this has all kinds of names. There's more than that. And not only that, but we're going to take this and we're going to move it all around the fretboard, and we're going to make it as hard and as complicated and as weird as possible, so that you have all of the tools available to you when you need them. That's what I say. And here we go again. Okay, A minor 7th. If you strum all 6 strings wide open, it's an A minor 7th. But I'm teaching you this one. You start on the 3rd fret, and then you put your G minor shape, baritone D minor shape, on the 3rd fret. It sounds like this. Okay. Now, when I tell you this chord and this chord are the same chord, you're like, but they don't really sound exactly the same. What we're doing is we're basically taking the chord and just moving it a little further up the piano keyboard a little bit, and same exact notes, just in a little different configuration. Many of you will be sold a class called Ukulele Chord Inversions, and that's where we talk about the fact that this is a C chord, and this is a C chord, and this is a C chord, and this is a C chord. And you'll think, boy, I really need to know all this stuff. You don't need to know any of that. What you need to know is what shapes you need to make in order to be successful on the song that you're working on. And the ukulele chord inversions, on piano, chord inversions are actually something of a thing to be studied, because which fingers you use to play the exact same chord will make a difference in the overall in what you're likely to be able to pull off on piano. But on fretted instruments, a chord inversion is basically just a bar chord further up the neck. And so around here they have a class that comes up once in a while, ukulele chord inversions, and I'm like, yeah. One, the guy teaching that is not qualified, and two, the thought process is it's one more thing for you to learn, and you really don't need to think about that. Let's see. Fran is in, waiting for more rain. They're getting rain in Southern California, you guys. Crazy. Here's Arlo. He is the expert at chord inversions. And Laurel is in. Hi, Laurel. Good to see ya. All right. So this is your A minor 7th. Same chord as open, but now it's hard. Okay. And you're going to have, as with the other arpeggios, I want you to attack it with the claw. By the way, that's super cool. And it sounds really interesting because we're leaving this 4th string open. Was strumming it, that's how it would sound. Now at measure 3, you have your high D minor. Those of you guys have been around here, you guys already gotten so comfortable with that D minor. And again, here's a D minor, and here's a D minor. Okay, that's a chord inversion. That's the same chord, it's just inverted differently, and so it shows up on a different place on the neck. Notice on that particular measure, it's bum 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 bum. So pay attention to your 8th notes there, and guys, those of you who are dedicated tablature readers, which none of you were before you met me, now you're like, that's all I want to do is tablature. Don't show me anything else. When we are dedicated to tablature, tablature's weakness is it doesn't tell you how long to hold a note, and so you do want to continue to use the standard notation as an assistant to your thinking on music. These are songs, these arpeggios, you don't know them, you haven't grown up, you didn't listen to them in high school, you didn't date your first girlfriend with these. These are new tunes to you, and so you are reliant upon the standard notation to get it to come out correctly. Bum, 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 and then a half note at the end of measure 4. Make sure you let that last for 2 beats. Okay, then we go back to the same exact idea in measures 5 through 8. Let's go move on to measure 9. There's our lovely E chord. Remember, I don't know, we've talked about it before. There's entire internet discussions of how to avoid E chord. And just put a bar on 4, put a pinky on 7, and get over it. Bum, ba-da, 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 bum. Bum. That's what's going on there. You see the 8th notes mixed up with quarter notes and with half notes. So you're working as much as getting your fingering down as making sure your timing is right on each of these notes. Bum. Now here's another thing, and I'm glad Arlo's here because Arlo will pat me on the back when I see him and be like, "Yep, you did that good." You're on this E chord. Your next chord is the exact same shape, but it's just moved up to F. Okay, so you're on here. Slide up. Don't lift up. Slide up. Slide up to 10. Or I'm sorry, it's just 10. Two half notes. Okay, so that's what's going on. Now, let's talk about music theory, because now the thing essentially repeats. Let's talk about music theory. When we are talking about the key of A major, B minor, C minor, D major, and E major, or E7, 1, 4, 5, right? And then over here is F sharp minor, it's hanging out. When you're in minor, it's very similar. A minor, crazy time, and then you will have your D minor here and your E7, E or E7 here. Okay, so it's still the same. You're just working in minor. These two get really, really intense because you have a diminished chord hanging out in here as well. And so don't spend a lot of time overthinking a second. By the time we get to the end of the arpeggiator, when we're working in those crazy wacko keys, at the end we will be using these 2s and 3s in minor shapes. But keep it easy, keep it clean in your head. A minor, D minor, E or E7, still the same. It's just that instead of the A and D, these are now minor and minor. Okay, here's what's super exciting about minor the keys that are minor. First of all, they sound sad, or they sound important, or they sound different than major keys. They're not as happy as major keys. So there's a little more depth to them. But what's super cool is, and you can see it right here, okay? First chord's an A of some sort, A minor-ish, okay? Then you got a D minor-ish, and then look what's going to happen next. You get an E major, an F major, and two more away, you get a G major. So you get minor, minor, major, major, major. So you get three majors that are going along for the ride with your minor key. Now, initially you're like, well, so what? When you get ready to write music, you're going to start with writing a song in the key of C. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And that's great, okay? But eventually you're going to get tired of writing in major keys, and you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to try writing one in a minor key. A minor. D minor. Oh, E comes with it. Oh, and F comes with it. And G comes along. You get a whole lot more horsepower, whole lot more horsepower when you're writing in minor keys than when you're writing in major keys. And that's true on all of the instruments. So ukulele just works out really nice because ukulele is thought of as this happy instrument. And then you meet me and I'm like, let's treat it like a real musical instrument. And all of a sudden we're wandering into minor keys, and you just have a whole lot more horsepower hanging out ready to help you write songs and to create really fancy stuff than when you are writing in major keys. So that little routine there from 9 through 13, that's not nothing. Here's your E chord, slide up to F, slide up to G, and then back to A minor. Okay, so it's really, really powerful chord shapes that really help you as a composer. And not all of you will end up writing music, but some of you will. And that's one of those things you put in your thinking cap, like, all right, Gary says writing in minor keys is pretty good. I'm going to pull out my ukulele chord chart that he was so kind to provide to us in the music theory page. And the first two pages are major keys, and the second two pages are minor keys. And I will tell you, if Gary's writing the song, he's probably going to be looking at the minor keys. And you guys, you start in the major. You start with C, F, and G, right? But then eventually you've written enough songs, you're like, okay, I see how songwriting works. Then you don't hesitate to spend a little bit of time digging into your minor keys, because again, A minor, skip, D minor, E major, F major, and G major. Look at that. That's sweet. Okay. Let's finish up talking about this song. At 14, you go back to your A minor. You go to that D minor on 5. Back to A minor, 7th, D minor. Maybe not inspired songwriting there, but you get the idea. Now, here's the last technique, not the last, but one of the techniques. In the first edition, I had these the opposite way because tablature is written upside down, and I've had any number of violin players going, I can't think like that. It just you got to switch them. So the second edition, the little box is a down strum, okay, and because tablature is written upside down, I had these the opposite way, and I still think I'm right, but I don't want violin players to be sad. So the little box means down, and the little V shape means up. And then you're not going to do this with your thumb. When you get there, you're going to do it with your index finger. Down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. That should feel real comfortable. Those of you guys that learned how to play ukulele from YouTube or somebody else, you spend a lot of time with down, down, up, down, and this is your moment, right? You're like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Put your E chord on, down, down, up, down, slide up to the F, down, down, up, down, and then you know what this is. There's a glissando on their thumb. Okay, now pay attention. There's a repeat here. The repeat is not at the beginning of this song. In fact, when I was updating this song, I was like, should I put it at the beginning where I probably should have it, or should I leave it where it is? So I left it where it was. Go to your E7. Now, A minor 7th. Now, before we were plucking it, but now there's a glissando on there. And you have a choice. Should you do with thumb to come back up, which is probably what I will do, but could you also do use thumb or ring, middle, index? Both of those would be acceptable approaches. You will get a different overall quality of your sound if you do this, thumb, 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 because you're likely to end up doing rest strokes when you do that, which will stop the sound of the previous string, which is not against the rules. Right? Or if you do pluck it with your ring, middle, and index, all of those end up staying ringing through, and that may have a better sound quality to you, but you can choose whichever one makes the most sense to you. At 27 through 30, obviously you're going to do a lot of glissandos. Good chance to practice getting that E7 on from the F. And then at the end of this song, I go into open positions. A minor, F, D minor, E7, E7. Last thing to pay attention to, down at 38 and 39, you're in the E7 shape. Let's go to 37. Don't pick it up. Slide it up to the 7 and give it a wiggle. Okay. Now this little wiggle thing. It's not exactly the right notation. I'm going to end up having to make a note to it at the beginning. What I really want is a little glissando going 39 over, which is your true vibrato notation. But I don't want to have to do it. Those are hard to put on. They're not worth the effort. What I'm just going to say is when you see the little wiggle there, I want vibrato. Okay? And a lot of times in violin music, that will be treated as a trill. You know, you'll do one of these things, or... But ukulele doesn't let you do that. So that little wiggle will represent a vibrato. And just take your whatever finger you end up on and just wiggle it back and forth. You can hear that, right? It's worth it. You also have a fermata, so let that run a little bit long. Okay, then back to 25, and we play to the end. Both times you're going to give it a chance to do that vibrato. Okay. Hey, Vicky, welcome in. Glad you're here. We're ready to play A minor. Okay, so on ukulele, let's grab that. Baritone players, you actually have easier chords. Okay, I would treat A minor 7th as A minor. Okay, and it will sound perfectly fine. Your A minor is here. Okay, and then always when you're on accompaniment, especially if you're baritones, you want to play the open chord positions. You want your open A minor, your open D minor, your open E. Okay, you don't have an open F, right? And I probably, if it was me, I would probably play an open G, even though it make once you've got your F on, you're like, shoot, I'm just gonna slide up and play G. I still would probably play an open G. I do think when you're on accompaniment, especially when your instrument is lower pitched, you're going to do yourself a favor by just playing open shaped chords. You already know what those are, and so you can really take advantage of making a beautiful duet. You know, when I've worked with my friend Debbie here in town in the past, typically I played baritone and she would play ukulele, and really it sounds incredible because the baritone is open, is ringing, is filling in all of this space, and meanwhile, you know, Debbie's working herself to death there on the ukulele, and it ends up sounding really, really pretty. So those of you that are baritones or have a baritone, just get comfy playing in those open positions to be support for the ukulele player. They're the one who'll get all the money, and you get all the girls, right? So that's how that works. All right. I don't know how any of this works. You don't get girls if you're on ukulele, fellas, just to let you know. All right, let's give it a try from the top. All the way to the bottom, then back to 25, and then all the way to the bottom. From 1, 2, ready, play. be a pluck. Sorry. Go. Go. Really long, finish. When you see a fermata on the last chord, you hold it until the instrument finishes doing its deal. Now, before we move on to the baritone version of it, think about just a moment the overall feeling and sound in that song. Right, most of the arpeggios up to this point have been pretty happy, pretty easy to get along with. This one sounds like something's going on, right? And it's because you're working in a minor key. It's just got a little bit more depth, a little bit more intrigue hanging around in that song. Should make you feel like, ooh, I just played something kind of important. And you did. You played the A minor arpeggio. All right. So it should feel like a little bit more depth of character overall, I would think. Let's see. Oh, Kat made it in. Hey, Kat. Good to see you. All right. Let's go grab the baritone version of this. Okay. And this is brand new this morning. I was rushing to get it posted, and I am hoping that there's not too many mistakes. So we're about to find out. Baritone version is in E minor. Okay, and ukulele players, again, your E minor is here. I wouldn't worry about the seventh. E minor seventh is actually right there, but I would do just a regular E minor. A regular A minor, your B, remember, B flat, up one is a B. Okay, that's it. And then C is right there, and then look what happens there. Then there's D as well. So you could play open chords, or you could just start at that B chord, B, C, D, and you're happy as a clam. So clams are very happy, by the way, so just know that's a good thing. How often do you run into B in real life? Not very often. How often you run in B flat in ordinary life? Every single day, right? And so it's the same exact thing, but just moved up one fret. Okay. Fran says it was pretty nice. All right, let's try the baritone version. Same out. The fingering for baritone's the same thing. Ukulele players, you are now my higher voiced accompaniment. Let's see how that comes out. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. of the things you might have heard, I was driving me bananas, right? That note right there, right? When you play in an open chord position and you hit that string, it just keeps ringing, right? And on baritone, that can be a benefit or a liability depending on what you're up to. But when you hit an open baritone, your low strings, that's true on guitar, they have a tendency to take over a little bit, like blong, and you're like, oh, I need that to stop. One way you can get those low notes, if you have a baritone players, is specific to you, or low G players a little bit. If this is ringing and it's like, God, I'm so sick of that ringing, just take the ball of your palm and just tap it. Right, it makes it go away, and that will happen more and more as you get further along in music. That some notes have sustains that you wish that you really don't want them to sustain, but your instrument does that. Ukulele players, we don't run into a ton of problems with that because we don't have as much sustain on our instruments, and that is not bad or good. It's just different. I do notice measure 22 and 23. I noticed the stems ended up crashing into the down up down things, and I will clean that up and repost. But other than that, I think everything is right. So hopefully that's a different way to think about music and how to put. You're still working on arpeggios. You're still working on getting your right and left hands to do all of the things. But when you're playing in a minor key, you get a new set of sounds that kind of work together that make you sound beautiful. Now, I decided today that I wanted to play Parting Glass again because last week on Parting Glass, it turned into a discussion of boom chucks, and that turned into Crazy Town. And so I would like to play Parting Glass, just any way that makes you happy, and I'm going to play it the way I always would play everything, which is tough uke. So grab Parting Glass on ukulele, please, and let's see if we can get this to sound like something nice. And the final chord on here, I wrote 7-5-5-5. Yours should say 7-7. I should say 9-7-7-7, and I apologize about that. So it should be, here is your final chord. Okay, that's your E minor, way up high. A, make sure A, B, C, B. Yeah, 7-7-7, 9-7-7-7. That way, 9-7-7-7. Okay, so bar on 7, ring finger on 9. That's your final chord there. Elizabeth says, previously this was memorized. Now baritone has jumbled my brain. Yeah, the good news and bad news. If you choose to have two separate instruments, you also choose to have two separate sets of crazy, right? And that's why when you meet, and you're unlikely to meet them because they're locked in a practice room, but when you meet somebody who is in an orchestra, they only have one instrument. They only play it one way. They're not multi-instrumentalists, right? There are a few exceptions to that, but pretty much a pianist is a pianist till they die, and a violin player is a violin player till they die. And they don't really like looking at other people's sheet music, and they don't like this idea that there's lots of ways to do things and all that. It's hard enough to do it right one way when you're at that level that you don't need to add any extra trouble into it. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. Parting Glass. Ending chord never corrected on Yeah, did not fix it yet, Jack. The ending chord is 9-7-7-7. I will update the ukulele one, and then we'll find out if I fixed it correctly on the baritone one. I probably didn't, now that I think about it, on ukulele or baritone. All right, so I'll have to repost both. But let's play the ukulele one. That's the only mistake I see on here, and I didn't think of. I thought we had this one right, so obviously not. All right, let's play it. Parting Glass any way you want, right? And it's slow. It's set at 100. We'll play it about 80. And baritone players, you're looking through your chords. Not a complex chord group for you guys. E minor, C, G, and D, that's your ideal set of chords, to be honest. And you have an A minor at measure 11. I think that's about it. So baritones, you're in good shape chord-wise. Ukulele players, obviously tough uke is what we want to do. We're going to play through it twice, so maybe if you want to try your boom chucks, you can. If you want to play chords, you can. Whatever makes you happy. And don't go fast. This is pretty challenging, I think. 1, 2, 3. Top. Sorry. Second ending. Okay. Biggest challenge, I think, when you're writing an E minor is E minors when the melody note is an open E. And on ukulele, we don't have a ton of choices. You can either play 0-4-0, which is what I usually put, or 4-4-0. Either of those are your choices. They don't sound that great on ukulele, and unfortunately, because this piece it's still a pretty wide piece. It was hard to find the perfect key for it. Let's do one other thing. I'm going to try going through and plucking the whole thing. I want to slow it down just a little bit more too, just to see what it sounds like from the top, just one time through. 1, 2. here as well. There, and we'll put it up there as an ending thing. Isn't that a pretty tune? I like that tune a lot. And again, you're right, you're playing in E minor, so it feels not necessarily sad, but it's bigger or different than it would be in major. Carol says, I think I played a chunk boom, a chuck boom. No, yeah, you can also play a chuck boom. I often, when I'm in boom chuck, will end up in chuck boom on accident, because where our tendency is to play that heavy beat on beat 1 and 3, and it happens pretty regularly. Yeah, so you can do that. Of all the money that I ever had, da da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so boom, chuck boom also works, right? And and so what happens to boom chuckers? Yeah, nice, beautiful. Never heard it before, but it has become an earworm. Yeah, this and Water Is Wide. Oh my God! The other day I was sitting there singing along, just having a grand old time, and I'm like, "What song is that?" And it took me a while to place it. It's because I've been working on Water Is Wide. Yeah, these Celtic songs have a tendency to be real earworms, and so yeah, I had never heard Parting Glass until I got a book of Irish songs for tin whistle. And when you go to YouTube and listen to some of the Parting Glasses, they're crazy slow, like super slow. And so no reason to rush. Let's see. Let's go on to the baritone version of this. Ukulele players, here's one more chance for you to be a boom chucker, or just give me these nice chords. This one is the ukulele version. I thought I was in baritone. Baritone, Parting Glass, baritone. This needs to go away. Delete. Yes. Okay, Parting Glass, baritone. Okay. And this says March 4th. This is not what I want. Oh dear. Parting Glass. Delete. Sorry guys. I still didn't end up with the right one in my gadget. Give me just a second. It'll take just a second for me to go get the updated version. That's crazy. Oh, these computers. So you should be playing from one that has today's date on it. Jolly Roger ukulele songs. I don't know why I didn't update. Parting Glass here. Download baritone, cloud, Parting Glass, baritone, download, yes, okay, alright, so now I should have it. Storage, baritone, Parting Glass, baritone. Come on, be right. Okay, all right. And then I think Jack's telling me, yeah, I didn't fix the last chord again. This one again should be 9-7-7-7 on your boom chuck. The last chord, and missed that on both places. Daggone. Hate making mistakes. From the top, baritone version, one time through. That's all we have time for. Ukulele players, B minor, so A minor on the 2nd fret. G chord, D chord, A chord, you know all of those, and E minor, you know that one as well. Okay, so the B minor might be the only one you need to refresh your memory. Here we go. From the top, one time through. Make it right. 1, 2, 3. Let me start again. Don't play it the way Gary's playing it. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Second ending. It is what it is at the moment. At least you're understanding the song, right? I'm gonna go spend a little bit more time on this one. I think there's more to this. All right, lovely tune. We're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. I'm optimistic that I can crank out a couple more tunes before we get there, and hopefully this is becoming an earworm for you, just like it is with who said it was an earworm? Linda up in Vancouver. Yeah. Jennifer says the Wailing Jenny sing this a cappella beautifully. Yeah, go check out a few of the versions of this on YouTube. It is one of those things where you play it super slow, a cappella, the whole thing, and just really, get these rich, nice harmonies. Anytime you're working in minor keys and you've got a chance for some really sweet harmonies, and this is one of those songs. So a lot of minor song, a very sad day in terms of music today. So tomorrow I will see what I can get posted, looks like I got to revise both of these pieces to get the ending chord right, which I will do. And then tomorrow, Ash Grove, Danny Boy, Melville Castle, Will You and I Come Home, Water is Wide, if I can get it finished, In the Gloaming, if I can get it finished, and Aaron Sewell I'm struggling with. So we'll see if I can get how much of those I can get done tonight. And I think that's all I know. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope the weather is great. Denver's getting ready for a 2-foot snow, they're telling us, which is a lie, but we like to think that it's true. And that's supposed to come over the weekend. So you guys have a wonderful day. Keep playing ukulele and keep showing up. That's the key, right? Everybody who stops showing up, that's all of a sudden when you decide that cross stitch is the way to go. And I want you to keep showing up here because this is the better way. This is the good way. So have a great day, you guys. Let me see who's sneaking out of here. I feel like traveling to Ireland and Scotland on a tour bus with my uke. Yeah, see, I'm really just a travel agent for Scotland. That's what I am. That's my function. Ronnie says it's beautiful. Good. I love that. Vic, good to see ya. Fran, thanks again. See you tomorrow. Good. Keep the rain coming, Fran. Jacqueline, good to see you again. Ronnie, have a wonderful day. Ronnie, thank you. Evelyn, good to see ya. Dennis, it's a great song. I don't know why. It's just and it's also about friends and partying and all that stuff. Very, very sweet little song, I think. Patricia, we'll see you tomorrow. Elizabeth, that was fun. Thanks. Waiting on Water is Wide. I know, guys. I know. I am too. You like this song? Good, yay! I'm glad that. Sad but beautiful. It is sad. It is. Now, I don't know if it's sad. I think it's sweet. Rena. Nancy, I'll see you soon. Kat, really fun. Good to see you, Kat. Sandy, good practice. Thank you. Keep your snow, Sandy. I know, Sandy. You're living in the wrong part of the world to be anti-snow, huh? Barbara, good to see ya. Linda, or Jennifer, Linda. I'm looking at Jennifer and saying Linda. Jennifer, you got our snow. Sorry. I know, Jennifer. You guys having a beautiful day up there in Chicago. Word is out. This is the best way. This is a pretty good way, huh? All right, Sherry, good to see you. Fran, it's hailing about 20 miles from hailing. Really? It sounds. I didn't even know you could hail in Southern California. That's amazing. All right, Kay, Sherry, Fran, Carol. Oh, it's snowing up in the mountains. Yeah, send it down. We're supposed to get an upslope, but they're talking 2 to 3 feet up in Boulder. It's Channel 9 going crazy, right? They're like, oh, got all the recipes. We better cancel everything, and we'll get a dusting. All right. These songs are great. Good to see you, Pauline. You guys have a wonderful day. I want to pull the plug, and we'll keep this ukulele thing going for a while. It sounds like we got a thing going here. All right, pulling the plug. Have a great day.